So good evening guys, welcome to my new video. So today if you mainly focus on my YouTube channel, you will see I have explained all the Python files. Okay, so but today I will discuss some different topic, though it is related to Python, but I will discuss about the mostly used and reputed framework of Python. Okay, that is the Django. Okay. So basically, today I will explain how the Django project flow comes into play. Okay, so how the flow of the Django project will be executed. Okay, so let's start. So basically, you will see I have came to the folder where my project is there. Django project is there. I have uh, created earlier, and also I've created the virtual environment earlier only. Okay, so this is here. So you will see this Django env where I've created the virtual environment. Inside this I have multiple folders and files also, like the scripts also is there, and also I've installed multiple Django, and I have installed NumPy, whatever we have required for the project. Okay, so first of all we need to activate the Django virtual environment. Whether I will run the development server or not, first of all it is must I need to activate the development server, and then we can go for the coding part. Okay, or else if I does not activate the virtual environment, in that case the files inside the project cannot be fetched. Okay, so I cannot fetch that files. Okay, so let's start. So I've opened the CMD, and first of all I need to uh, activate the virtual environment, Django virtual environment. So first of all I will go to the folder called where I've created the virtual environment, and also inside that script is a folder which contains the batch file. So there we will have activate part. So if I press activate, our virtual environment will be activated. See, Django env virtual environment is activated. Now I will go to the coding part. So let's type code space dot. You will see the project is opened inside the VS Code. Okay, so inside the VS Code, if you see the project structure, sorry, I've opened the script part. I need to go to the full project folder. Okay, so first of all I need to come out from there and go to the project folder. Okay, so cd django own, and inside this I have the numeric. Okay, so I've gone to this part. So I've gone to this project folder, and now I will type code space dot. You will see the project folder will open inside the VS Code. Okay. So now project folder, I would show you the project structure first. Wait. Now see, this is the project structure. Okay. This is the project structure, and I've created the project by the project name numeric operations. Okay, so numeric operations this. Okay, so if I expand, you will see I have another folder with the same name as we have created the folder. So if I expand this, you will see by default they are providing multiple files inside the numeric operations folder, and but this view.py I have created on my own. Okay, this view.py I have created on my own. The developers need to create the view.py because basically the backend logic will be in this file only. Okay, so and these are the folder structure, and also I have created one folder that is template. Inside that there is another folder that is home, and inside that I have created the one HTML file, so that whatever the client will see, the HTML template will send the response directly to the browser, and the client will see that. Okay, so let's understand how the project flow will work. So I will run the development server. Okay, so how to run the development server? First of all, you will see inside this project there is another file called manage.py. Okay, first of all, manage.py is the entry gate. We have to execute the manage.py. Okay, so how will I execute like the Python file? Okay, like executing the Python file. So Python manage.py. In this way, we are in earlier videos you will see in this way we are going to execute the Python file. But for executing the starting the development server, we need to fire another along with this another command, that is run server. Okay. After when I will press enter this, then the run server, then the development server will be started. Okay, development server will start. You will see the development server will start. So if you basically look carefully uh, to the statements, you will see it is told that you have 18 unapplied migrations. Basically we have used for the database part. By default SQLite provides, by default Django project provides the SQLite database. Okay, so there are basically by default database migrations we need to uh, write or execute, but I have not done that because I don't work with the database now. Okay, but now you will see here development, starting development server along with the IP address and the port number. So by default Django project runs in port number 8000. So when I will write in the URLs part localhost 8000, you will see our server, I will get the user interface. Okay, and you will see in the upper statement, you will see along with starting the development server settings.py inside the project file also it will execute. Okay, together. Okay. So first of all, after firing this command whole server python manage.py run server, so we are executing the manage.py. Okay, and we are starting the development server by using the run server command. Okay, after that what it is doing, it is starting the development server along with the IP address and the port number by default, which is 8000, and it is executing the settings.py. So before going to settings.py, we will see the by providing the localhost 8000 URL so that we can get the user interface. If I press enter, you will see I am getting the user interface. Okay, if I inspect, okay, and go to console, okay, and do empty cache, do hard reload, and do normal reload. Okay, you need to do this so that when I will submit the form, the uh, previous data will not be stored. Okay, now if I go to the code, you will see first of all I will close this HTML file, and if I expand this numeric operation, you will see there are many files. First of all, what I have told, settings.py will be executed, that contains the configuration part. Okay, so basically these properties I will explain you later. Only I will explain the flow of control, okay, in this video. Okay, then later I will explain the whole code what I have done. Okay, now basically we will get two main informations. First is this numeric ops.url. So when the URL comes to settings.py, it will map with the urls.py, means the urls.py file inside the project will also execute. Along with that, you will see the application properties. Okay, application properties which is present inside the wsgi.py file here. This will also execute. Okay, this part also execute. Basically, we will not talk about the wsgi.py. Basically, it is the gateway for uh, entering the Django project. Okay, so if I close this, and first of all if I go to the urls.py, you will see this is the admin part is there, which is by default provided, okay, by the Django project during the creation part. Okay, but I've manually written this because whatever URLs comes here, what it does, it will map with the home function which is present inside the views.py. Okay, which I have created manually. Okay, so that's why from the numeric ops we have imported the views. Okay, or else it will provide an error. Okay, so whenever any URL comes, it will execute the home function, which is a function based view. Okay, inside the views.py, okay, it will execute. Okay, so first of all what it does, basically if I press this, suppose localhost 8000. Okay, if I press enter, what we will see, we will see the interface, user interface. I have not till now I have not entered anything in the field and I have not submitted. Okay, if I go the URL, so basically after providing the URL, the browser is requesting something. So browser is requesting something. Okay, so the URL comes to this URL part. So URL tells that home function or the functions based view will be executed. So if I go to the view.py, you will see this is the home function. Okay, it is also called the function based view. There are two types of things: function based view and class based view. Okay, the function based view we will execute here. This is called the function based view, but the class based view we have not implemented it, so I will explain you later. Okay, so now if I now first of all, before expanding, so you will see inside the home.py function we are passing an argument that is in the form of like the name is request. So what is request? Request is basically a reference of type class http request that I have imported from django.http. Okay, so what request contains? Okay, request contains the client's data along with that http header. Now inside the http header we will get the IP address of the client from where it is coming. So why it is storing the IP address? So that when I will send the response back to the browser, where it will send to the client's IP address so that the clients can see the user interface. Okay, if I and you will see it will return the HTTP response directly to the browser. So if I expand it, you will see there is another if block. Okay, so what this if block tells? If block, like, first of all I need to tell that whenever the browser is requesting something, at like the browser can request in two ways. Okay, first is the browser can request in the form of get, and the browser can request in the form of post. Okay, so by default, before filling the form, first time when we are providing the URL, it sends the get request directly to the views.py. Okay, so that means this if block will not run. This if block will check if only execute if this request the request comes in the form of post, but it is coming by default in the form of get. Okay, so if I expand it, you will see here the last what we are returning when the request is coming in the form of get, we are returning the render part. Okay, we are rendering what we are providing the first parameter as request. Why? So that after that what we are providing the HTML template, so that when we are what render does, renders connects the views.py with the template HTML template, so that why we are using the rendering, so that we when it maps with the HTML template, the template will send the response directly to the browser. Where it will send? It will send to the client's IP address so that clients can view the user interface. So where it will get the IP address? From this request part. Okay, inside the HTTP header, you will find the IP address of the client. Okay, there it will send the response, means the clients will see the user interface. Okay, so by default, first time when we are entering the URL, it is coming in the form of the request is coming in the form of get. Now when we are basically we are checking if the number is prime or not. Okay, in this file. Now when I am filling the form, suppose I have filled 1 2 3. Okay, when I will click the submit button, it is showing not prime. Okay, it is showing not prime. How it is showing? This is the backend logic, I will explain you later. But how this, when I am filling the form, the request goes, now the request goes in the form of post method. So in the form of post method, for post it is going, so this if block will be executed, and what it will render, it will return multiple render along with the context. Based on the context it will render. Okay, multiple times it will render. But in this case also we are rendering the request, we are providing the first parameter request so that the HTTP the template can send the HTML response directly to the client's IP address. Okay, and now we are providing, after that we are providing the HTML name. Okay, home.html, so that it connects the so that the request goes to the HTML template so that it can respond back directly to the browser. But the new thing is what we are not passing here, that is context. So what context does? Context is basically used to sends the Python data directly to the template. Means context is basically responsible for sending the data from the server to the client. Okay, suppose like I'm providing, the client is providing something, suppose 1 2 3. When I will submit, suppose 10. When I will submit, no, suppose I will provide 5. When I will submit, see prime, this prime is the context part. It is coming, means in this data, this string is coming from the context part, coming from the server directly to the client. Okay, so for this case, for that case we are providing the context part. Okay, the context can be based on the message part, what message I would print or whatever I would print. So that part, for that reason we are passing the context part through the context, through the dictionary we are passing the Python data directly to the template part, so that template can respond back directly to the browser. Okay, now I will open the template part. If you see the template part, this all will handled by the HTML developer, but this ginger tags, or you can also tell this as Django language. Okay, whatever, I forget that. Okay, these are called ginger tags. So ginger tag we need to provide it. We need to provide it. It will not provided by the HTML developer. Okay, this is the part of the Django. Okay, backend process. Okay, so what is this? These are the document object models with DOM elements. Okay, like we need to provide the name, and we need to click the submit button, and then the response will come. You will see that message is printed, then the response will come. That is coming in the form of dictionary, that is called context, in the HTML part, and HTML directly sends response back to the browser, and that's why we are seeing this prime. Okay, and if I submit it, you will see the error is coming, empty value. Okay, so in this way the flow of control works. Okay, so if you have any questions or anything, you can ask no main commands. Okay, I will definitely try to answer it. Okay, so wait for I will explain in my new video. I will in my next video I will explain the whole code, how it is working, the backend part also and the front end part also. Okay, so stay tuned, and till then, bye bye.